Good afternoon and welcome to a beautiful afternoon in Pickett, Wisconsin. It is sunny, 60 degrees, very light winds, just a spectacular day for running an engine. So on the stand today I'm going to give this HP Gold Cup 20 engine another chance here. The first run didn't go so well, had numerous issues, but I think that was also the first run of the season for me, so I was shaking off some rust. So what I'm going to do here is I'll tell you about the changes, but I'll tell you about the parameters first. I've got an APC 9.6 prop on here. I believe I've got the same glow plug because it just looks like a really nice glowing plug. And it's a K&B plug of some variety. And I'm going to run out this tank of 10% fuel that was in here. And then I've got another tank of some 5% Castor synthetic blend that I'll run also. But so the things that are different between the first run and this run is I pulled this carb, it's a Perry carb, I pulled that thing off, pulled it apart, hoping to find something wrong with it, and I couldn't. It was perfect. All the O-rings were new. I mean, it looked like a brand new carb. So it's been put back together, put back on here. I've changed to a different exhaust. And this was kind of interesting because it had that nice painted Fox tilt up muffler on it. And I'm thinking, that's just kind of a stupid design for Fox. I don't know why they would make a tilt-up muffler, because what that does is it allows oil to flow right back down into the combustion chamber. And I'm thinking, could that have been part of the problem? But the cool thing is, and the funny thing is that was I don't know what Fox engine that came off of, but this exhaust that I've got here came off of a OS 45 FSR engine, and it fits perfectly. So that's cool. It doesn't have the rear end little outlet on it, but other than that, it's a stock carb or exhaust, and we'll see how it runs. So I have a new battery and a new starter, not new, but new to me, given to me by really good friend Chris. It's a Rob Super Starter, and this thing will start a diesel truck, and especially since I've got a brand new battery too. So I'm using the throttle for the other side of the bench here. And let's just run this thing and see if we can get any better results today. Okay, I'm not going to prime this too much because I don't think this thing takes much of a prime to prime it. I was just trying to get the throttle stop down just a hair more, but ooh, why is that sticking now? That's happening. I think I made a mark on this thing so I could see how far open I am from fully closed. I think I did, Yeah, there it is. Let's go one. Let's go 1.5 turns and see what that does. I think somebody had commented on one of the videos about their Irvine carb or Perry carb, and they only had it open like 3/4 of a turn. Why isn't wanting it to hold a full throttle setting? Plug, fuel, don't know. This is just starting to get a little frustrating. It's pretty warm. Let's open the high-speed needle up even more, I guess, and see what happens. I see exhaust coming out. Let's just swap tanks here real quick and see if for some reason different fuel makes it any happier. Now this is like 5% nitro here. to do a little bit of carb adjustment. I've got this, the length of this carb arm is just such that when I put it on here, I was okay. Now I've got it so it'll work a little bit better here. It was binding. It was, the L is hard to describe. Basically, I just fixed it. So it seems like night and day difference. 10% fuel, synthetic, hates it. Totally hates that fuel. Loves this fuel. Okay, so nothing but smiles here. This thing kicks ass. This is a nice little engine. So it's funny because, and I think in the intro I said I ran the 10% cool power with this engine the first time, and I don't know that I recall that correctly now. I think I might have done FAI fuel? I'm not sure. I'd have to check. Either way, what we've discovered today is that this thing hates, at least on this day, in this temperature, in this humidity, really hates Morgan's Cool Power 10%. full synthetic fuel. Just absolutely hates it. I don't know why, but it does. But this 5% that's a castor synthetic mix, it loves that. Now, I tried tweaking the high speed a little bit more, but it just didn't seem like there was really any more there to be had, more than the 12,000 it was turning this APC 9.6 at. But I mean, that glow plug is fine. Whoever said in the last one that your plug's bad, no, same plug, good plug. The carb is fine. So whatever fuel I was running last time, whether it was the 10% or whether it was FAI, it didn't like that. I have a feeling now that it was all the fuel. Maybe it was part of the exhaust too, with maybe oil going back into the combustion chamber. I don't know. All I know is when I took that exhaust off and I emptied it, or I was looking at it and I did, a whole bunch of oil just came out, and I was like, man, if it's accumulating that much in there, maybe a lot of it was draining back into the cylinder. I don't know. All I know is this thing runs really well once I got the throttle arm so that it'll actually go down to a low throttle. I mean, that thing was idling very nicely at a nice idle speed. Transition was beautiful, high speed beautiful. I mean, how much it looks beautiful, except for this exhaust. The exhaust is not so nice looking, but hey, you know, and the thing that came to my mind is that the perfect airplane for this would be one, it's called a New Era 20, and I think it was made by Airtronics or something, but New Era 20 would be a perfect little pattern plane for this engine. I think. It just came to my mind, and I was sitting there, I'm thinking, man, this thing would be great in a New Era 20. I don't know if it'd be so good in a Super Sportster 20, maybe, but Super Sportsters really just kind of need a 4-stroke in there because they have such a short nose moment and such a long tail moment. They really need all the weight they can get in the front end. But the New Era 20 is tricycle gear, long tail pattern plane. This thing would be great in that. So anyway, love this engine. Hope you enjoyed watching, and hope you enjoyed watching me work through all the ins and outs of why that engine wasn't working right.